I invoke Malcolm X, who talks about how the Black woman is the most disrespected. We are the most ignored, unprotected, disrespected species, at least in my opinion. And that is why we don't see Black women on that list. I could never pull off have a show called Call Her Daddy and talk about sex without being vilified or called a whore. And while that might be the case for her, she still has something working for her that I just will never have.
Yeah, it's called whiteness.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
First and foremost, Jemele,
Mm-hmm.
I need your undivided attention. Are you having anything to drink? Are you drinking anything right now?
I am all out of caramel macchiato.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already drank it.
I didn't see you drink it while we were here.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, I drank. I think I had one sip before we started recording.
Oh,
and then,
okay. Because okay.
And then it was done.
Well, I got some good news. This is going to help us too. You know Serena Williams. Have you heard of her?
I'm familiar.
So she's doing, which I think is really great. She's doing those Factor meals. Have you seen her promote those Factor meals online?
Is this like pre-prepared, healthy?
Yeah, it's like, okay. You know how people do the things where they want to have these foods sent to them and it's like already
takes the guesswork out.
Yeah, the meal prep.
Yeah.
And there's like 25 grams. Here's the thing. It's hard to have 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, right?
Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, of course. I'm on a whole wellness journey now. I've been talking about this forever.
Yeah. I know you have, but I didn't know that was the specific
knows that.
Does
That's
rosé
specific.
count as protein? I just need to know that.
It does not translate into protein, but it could if you wanted it to.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're supposed to have 25 to 30 grams of protein. And so these meals are made for people who work out, who want to eat something good, who maybe train athletes, obviously champions, performers. That's why Serena's backing it. And they reached out to me, and apparently they have been listening to the pod and they know I'm on my wellness journey and asked me to join in on these Factor meals. And so I had a box delivered to my house. I'm not fronting. It sounds like a commercial. Hand in heaven, the food was so good. But it was stuff like, you don't eat red meat, but they had like a filet mignon with shrimp. They had like a truffle.
I do. I just don't eat a lot of it.
A lot of it. And you shouldn't. Yeah. But they had like truffle butter chicken. They had meatballs and pasta, ginger salmon. And the food is really delicious. And I thought, wait, something's got to be wrong. Got to be high in sodium. I Googled, and I don't know if it's true or not, but you're supposed to have 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day. Did y'all know that?
I did know that, actually.
That's a lot of sodium.
Are we sure?
It's like a teaspoonful.
Yeah, I'd say a teaspoon is not that much.
Okay.
When you think about a whole course of the day, right? Like everything you eat, you are probably well above
because sodium is in everything. Sodium is in rosé. Sodium is your coffee. You're right. So we're well above 23.
We're probably well above. Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a bummer. I didn't know. Well, I would just have to take all the flavor out of my food, and I'm just not ready to do that. That's not a part of the wellness journey that I want to commit to. It's not?
Okay, so flavor is still part of the wellness journey.
Yeah, I just am not ready. But these meals are flavorful, not necessarily high in sodium. In fact, you probably could add some hot sauce if you wanted to, a little more seasoning, but that would be more sodium.
Did you add some hot sauce?
I didn't, girl, but I enjoyed every single one of them. And I'm all like, and so anyway, follow my page if you don't follow it. Oh, Lord.
Here come the tummy tea, y'all.
Here come the tummy tea. And use my code to get 50% off.
What's your code?
Powwow number 2. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, did you get to pick your code? Your code is really not elegant hood lady? That's not your code.
It's really something simple like my name, like Cari's, and some letters behind it. That's it. Like you'll see it on my Instagram. You should tell us
the actual code. Oh, it's on your Instagram? Okay.
Yeah, but okay. Do you want the actual code? All right then, Black girl.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you sell stuff. All right?
Cari CFFB.
CFFB. Got it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so on top of the many things you're doing, you're freezing yourself. You are drinking water made of
because I'm getting a little tummy.
Goat vestiges. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just got to figure it out. I'm retaining water. I'm just doing the things, just aging stuff, and so I'm trying to hold on to the finest as long as I can. Since you are telling people I like 25-year-old Xavier Leggett.
I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to be a good wing woman and make sure that it gets back to this man.
Okay, it's summer body season. I'm ready for all my summer activities. And I, as we've told the people, we are going on hiatus. I don't know if they remember, but we are going on hiatus. And that means we will be doing some best of. I love a best of. It'll allow people who
and these are really fun best ofs too.
Such
as we. So when I was at WNBA All-Star Media Day, and as the people who have been following this podcast, they know you and I, we've confessed some things. We've confessed to some crimes. We've confessed to
what crimes?
We both confessed to shoplifting.
Okay.
Yeah, we've confessed to that.
Dang, when you say it like that, that makes me feel bad.
Does that sound harsh? It probably does sound a little harsh.
Yeah. Okay.
You have confessed to the fact that when you go over people's houses, you break things and don't tell them. I have confessed to the fact that I will go through your medicine cabinets. So at WNBA All-Star Media Day, I asked the players which one was worse. And you all can hear their responses on this best of Cari being
one is a HIPAA violation. One is clearly a HIPAA violation. And then the other one is just some innocent fun. You know what I mean?
Yes, because breaking other people's belongings is hilarious. That is hilarious, right? What is
it's
it?
Not like, it's not like I'm walking around people's houses and breaking their glasses on purpose. It's like if I accidentally break something. I don't know how you even told these people this story, but I bet it's to make you look good and me look bad.
And because I did not want to, lead the witness, I didn't tell them who thought what. I said, okay, which do you think is worse? And thank you, Buffy. She said it was very unbiased. I asked it in a neutral tone.
Of course, Buffy would say that.
I did my job as a journalist and just tried to get at the truth. That's what I did. That's what I did.
Is that what you did?
Get at the truth of the situation.
Is
so I
that
asked Jonquel Jones, Courtney Williams, and Nneka Ogwumike, three of the more thoughtful WNBA players who have a lot, they bring such perspective to whatever is the topic. And so there you go. And so they will be the ultimate judge of which one of us is worse. And I know it's Cari. But anyway.
Whatever. And Buffy's like, today, Jemele's my favorite. Coscarelli's my favorite today. Coscarelli, show me your hair. Pop on and show me your chest hairs. Coscarelli is my favorite today. Show me. And I did just book us a guest, Buffy, but don't worry about me. Coscarelli, show me your chest hairs.
That's right. I mean, we already had Cari, juggling her tatas. So now we got Coscarelli. We are very soon, we're going to be an X-rated pod. We're going to be an X-rated pod. Okay. Now, I don't know. Buffy, I guess the pressure's on us now. What we got to show next?
Yeah, Buffy, what you got?
This is
Buffy's
team bonding.
Nothing.
This is team bonding right here. If I show my kneecaps, does that count?
Yes, it does.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna show a kneecap, but I got to put some more lotion on before I do that.
Please. Where's my turtleneck sweater? So I do believe the best of is gonna be really funny. Jemele,
yes.
we've got some interviews with people that you probably missed. We talked to the great Cynthia Cooper, which I think is really good. She really got at the heart of it all.
And Tina Charles, too.
And Tina Charles. We play back our live episodes in case you missed that. I will also remind you all while we're on hiatus that Jemele and I have often on this pod discussed who possibly would be the next commissioner, WNBA commissioner. And someone jumped in my DMs, a former standout in terms of college basketball player.
Okay. Because I was saying it wasn't Garrett Morris, was it?
No. Bow chicka bow down.
You go and see. That's why I was trying to get you a 25-year-old and Xavier Leggett because you had Garrett Morris. So to round out the roster, the balance, old and young, new school, old school. There you go.
Old school. But okay,
right.
Yeah. Garrett, if you're listening, I'm here. Holla. And so someone who jumped in my DM said that while we were talking about commissioners, there's one person that would fit the job, fit the bill, and meets all criteria, but she would never advocate for herself. And I want to throw this name out here and you tell me your thoughts.
Ooh, juicy.
Alison Feaster.
Wow.
I've never thought about her.
That's a good name. That is a good name. Because she is in the Celtics front office, correct?
She's in the front office for the Celtics. Her daughter plays ball.
Her daughter plays ball. I remember
Connecticut.
At Connecticut, correct. I remember Alison Feaster when she played for Harvard. I believe it was Harvard, and they upset. They were the first 16 seed to beat a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. I was watching the game. They beat Stanford, and Buffy, make sure I'm correct about where Alison Feaster went to school,
because I'm looking now too.
Yeah, but that was sort of her claim to fame. She was a tremendous college player. And I was not familiar with her game until I saw that game. Stanford was the 1 seed, but one of their best players, I cannot remember who it was, got hurt and couldn't play in the tournament. Like, I think it was a season-ending injury. So Stanford was not fully healthy, and Harvard won and was the first 16 to beat a 1.
Oh, yes. Wow. That's a great story. Yeah. Okay, so look, she played obviously in the pros. She was in the WNBA from 98 to 2008. Sparks, Charlotte Sting, girl. Charlotte Sting.
I used to cover the Sting.
You did. You told me you used to live all up and down there. Indiana Fever. She played professionally in Europe from 1998 through 2016. I think that, she went back and forth. You know how they do, because you got to have a lot of jobs. She retired in 2016, and now she's a vice president of team operations and organizational growth for the Boston Celtics. Very reputable organization, obviously. She's something special. Yes, she graduated in 98 from Harvard. My girl remembers that well. And she was 3-time Ivy League Player of the Year. I'm just going down a list of things.
I think she was she leading the nation in scoring at one point?
2-time NCAA season
Look at your girl with a memory.
Leader. 97, 98. NCAA season rebounding leader. She was something special.
No, she was a baller. Like, Alison could ball.
And go on.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you finish reading her wonderful resume.
She married a man by the name of Danny Strong, who also, I believe, played in the NBA. And their daughter, Sarah Strong, she was the one who had her jersey ripped. Remember?
I remember.
And at the most recent championship semifinals against Dawn Staley's South Carolina Gamecocks, and when
she ripped her own jersey, I believe it was.
When our boy, when Gino was like ripping her jersey and everything, she's like, I actually ripped my own jersey. It was a whole thing. So, and her daughter's good. Her daughter's special.
Our daughter might be the best player in the country. Like, she's
just like her mama.
Just
and the thing is, we forget this because our memories are so short. People don't know who she is. But I was told by someone who also played with her that she arguably would be the best to be the new commissioner, and she would not advocate for herself because that's the kind of person she is. However, she would do a good job. She certainly has the resume. Former player, standout in college, played overseas, executive in the front office. She's with such a good organization. It's not like she's with the Billy Bobcats. She's with the Boston Celtics. They have the most, and I hate to even say it, chips ever. Awful. Hold on.
You're all right.
Yeah.
I know. I know that gave you hives. I understand.
Okay. And so, shout out to my Lakers. So I think that might be something that we can look at. I can't say it all the way, but it might be something that we want to look at, right?
That is an excellent name. Because the thing that when we talked about this based off, evaluating Kathy Engelbert's job, I don't think she's the commissioner for this moment. I think when it came to getting the WNBA in a financially healthy place, she has done that. And now you need someone, I think, with a little bit more vision and a little bit more willingness to be more out front. There's a different narrative that needs to be said about this league that is more in line with the success that they are actually having financially in every possible metric. What people need to understand, and especially, I think the players know this, but I think a lot of fans don't know this, is that the commissioner is not supposed to be necessarily someone that the players want.
Of course not. We talked about that
because for the owners,
right? Well, your girl wrote that piece. Candace Buckner wrote that piece. She's like, she's not going to be your bestie. If you want to checks and balances, sure, she's doing her job, but I don't think she's doing her job when it comes to transparency, when it comes to communication, when it comes to, like you said, at least having relationships with your best players in the league, so that they know that you listen to their voices, because they, by sometimes default, are leaders, and it doesn't appear that she has that kind of relationship. If we're talking money, and ultimately somebody would say that's all that matters. But unfortunately, this moment requires more. It just does. It doesn't mean she needs to be a bestie, but this moment requires more. So maybe it is Alison Feaster. I do want to add, she was married to Danny Strong. They got a divorce. I want to make sure I'm very clear. She has a new husband, but Danny Strong is Sarah Strong's dad, and that's who you think is arguably the best player in the nation when it comes to college ball right now, and she's at Connecticut. That has to be tough.
She's going to be probably the favorite to win Player of the Year when this new women's college basketball season starts. But Alison, I think, is a perfect mix. One thing that I was talking to Nneka Ogwumike about this at WNBA All-Star Weekend. I was asking her about the conversation that took place between the executive committee of the WNBA Players Union and Cathy Engelbert about some of the online abuse, some of the issues that have been taking place in the WNBA. And Nneka mentioned the word trust and respect. She didn't, of course, and I'm not trying to put any words in her mouth. I think when you think about the contentiousness leading into the CBA negotiations, they got that done, and there seemed to be a little more goodwill between Cathy and the players. But I think other than that I don't think there's a whole lot of trust there. And again, they're not supposed to be buddy-buddy, but I think there does have to be a little bit more trust. And because of Alison's background, I think the players would definitely trust, like, okay, she's been one of us. She's played in this league. I
trust her to make a good decision. I trust her to have a well-intentioned conversation. I trust that she won't throw me under the bus when I call her out for not telling the truth. I trust that she won't pull the woman card on me. Like all the things that we've watched Cathy do, she's not going to play a victim. Because Cathy has been a victim every time she has been told that maybe you've fallen short in certain areas. And it sounds very much like I'm on defense. Like I didn't do it. I've been doing my best. Some of the players forgot about this. Some of the players, you're like, what? Why are you blaming them? What kind of nonsense is that? Like you get paid to take the L. You just do. It's a part of the gig.
You get paid to be vilified.
That's it. Literally, it's just part of the gig. You don't then turn it back on the players and say they forgot that we had a system in place in case they are bullied online. Some of the players forgot, but we reminded them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had to remind them, that means that you're not really in regular communication. And I don't expect the commissioner to every Friday call like the top 10 players in the league and like, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's have a key. I don't expect that. But I think you should have a much better relationship with some of the faces in your league. Like you better have a good relationship with Caitlin Clark. You better have a good relationship with Asia Wilson. You better all these people.
I've never worked at a place where I have not been able to reach the boss. I'm at CNN. I can reach Amy Antelis. I can text with her. When Rebecca Cutler gave us our show, I can still text Rebecca Cutler. She's the boss at MS Now. These are people you can still reach out, and they keep these relationships going because it's a part of the gig. Whether I'm working for you or not, you keep these relationships going. I'm not Caitlin Collins. I'm not Anderson Cooper. But if I can reach Amy Antelis, that tells me something about her leadership skills and what she decides is right or who she is paying attention to and listening to in different ways. My whole point is that she's not creating those relationships. And what happened with her and Nneka, to me, I think really dissolved her relationship, or at least the trust factor, with the rest of the players. And so this idea that Alison Feaster might be someone that we should start looking at and talking about might be a position she
I love this pick. I love this pick.
And it's probably a job that she wants, but she would never, as I was told, advocate for herself. And she'd probably be great for it. That's probably why she won't advocate for herself, because she's probably going to be great for it. And that's why she should probably be highly considered.
As Black women, we need to learn. Sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader. You have to glaze yourself. Okay?
Let me tell you how dope I am.
Let me tell you. Yeah. I mean, I get it that some of us have been conditioned to just keep our head down, do the work. And there's a place for that for sure. But there are times where you need to be your best hype man, especially when it comes to positions and projects where you feel like you can make a real difference and a real impact. Speaking of, there's something I
know where
to,
you're going.
Where am I going?
Wait,
can you guess where I'm going?
Yeah.
Where am I
want
going,
to talk
Cari?
about the top podcasters list making millions of dollars and not a Black woman on the list.
Ain't one to be seen.
Ain't one to be found.
Yes.
I almost feel like, and it's not even a feel, it is the truth of the matter, that it is this situation where I've been saying, and I say, let me just take a moment. I want to give Jessie Katz some credits, because what we have put together here for this podcast, while we are great at what we do understand that there is a fear that is associated with telling the truth. And we don't know how to be any other way. And it makes people uncomfortable. And if it makes you uncomfortable, you don't know what to do with it. My whole career has been like, I like her, but I don't know what to do with it. And there's a fear unnecessarily that they have of Black women. I see the fear in the eyes of people that we work with, like we're going to jump up and shoot them or something. I'm exaggerating, but like the fear of talking to a Black person and them getting angry, or a Black woman getting angry and they don't know how to handle her response, or the intensity of a Black woman when she's excited and or angry about something or whatever, just an issue. And it is so frustrating to live your life knowing that you have to talk carefully to people who aren't being associated regularly with Black people or Black women. And I'm going to keep it real specific. And I find myself just being like, I don't care anymore. I can't take it. It's just relax. Jessie has embraced this podcast and us, and she understands the value that we bring. And she also understands there could be some hesitation that comes with that. And so I find these people who make the right choices during these tough times often get rewarded when in private, but never told in public. You know what? I appreciate you, because I know what it is. You don't have to say what it is. I know what it is. And it takes a lot of guts to do something like that, at least for their perspective. But telling the truth, like, and being honest and being great at what you do, there is some sort of fear, and it's often ignored. And I invoke Malcolm X, who talks about how the Black woman is the most disrespected. We are the most ignored, unprotected, disrespected species, at least in my opinion. And that is why we don't see Black women on that list. I could never pull off have a show called Call Her Daddy and talk about sex without being vilified or called a whore. And while that might be the case for her, she still has something working for her that I just will never have.
Yeah, it's called whiteness.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, and I don't say that like she's not talented. I don't want people to understand that, but there is a certain luxury in this space that we're in, really in life, but let's just limit it to this space, that you're going to get if you look a certain way and appeal to a certain crowd. It's just the way it works.
And and look, when it's in vogue, right? When it's popular, you'll bring it on. But when it's not, it's like, oh no, I don't know what to do with it. We have been in a space for a very long time where I think, trust it or not, you should be able to say, that works. I understand what they're trying to do. And there's a space for that. And there will always be a space for that. But this is why we have to create our own, Jay. We can't rely on somebody to pluck us up and say, I got you. Because Joe Budden pointed something out with his name being on that list. How many people are independent? How many people on that list are independent? And he did it on his own from the mud. Mm-hmm. But your thoughts on why there are no Black women
first, and Buffy and Coscarelli, let's make sure that we pop this up on the screen so that people can get the visual. So just so people know, here's the top 5 highest paid podcasters. Number 1 is Joe Rogan, not surprising, 82 million. John Coogan and Jordy Hayes. I was going through this list to see how many people I actually knew. It's not a reflection of them, it's me. I've never heard of John Coogan and Jordy Hayes.
Neither have I. What's their pod?
It's called TBPN. T as in Tom, B as in boy, P as in place, N as in Nancy. I don't know what that is. Stephen Bartlett, I know who he is. He does the Diary of a CEO podcast. He's number 3. Ashley Flowers, who does Crime Junkie. I've heard of Crime Junkie. I just didn't know who hosted it. I've never listened to it, unfortunately. Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes. They do SmartList.
That used to be my favorite.
Yes, so they do SmartList. And if you want to, there are 3 Black podcasters in the top 20 most highest paid. Charlamagne being one. Stephen Bartlett, who I already mentioned. And of course, Joe Budden. Now, Joe Budden really deserves a lot of credit because he put podcasting on the map at Spotify. Joe Budden was a really big reason why I went to Spotify. He and I never had a conversation, but just seeing his success there, I was like, oh, this seems like this would be a good landing spot for me. So it was a bit of a North Star seeing him be there. And he left Spotify because he felt like his value wasn't being appreciated. And he was right. And sure enough, fast forward, they bring in Joe Rogan and they pay him an insane amount of money. You know, Joe Rogan, by the way, at the top of this list, $82 million. But Joe Budden was, you know, he took a big swing. He went out on his own, did it independently. Now he's created something that's really,
special.
Lasting and special, and a lot of people love it. But yes, as we both noted, there's not a single Black woman on this podcast list. Now, I don't know. I'd be curious, how do they classify like Keke Palmer and Oprah? And like, why would they have not been on this list?
Well, they don't make that kind of money though, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't think Oprah? No,
I don't think her podcast makes that kind of money. I think that's why she's been on this tour to pop up on these shows and be hip, which makes me completely uncomfortable, but that's beside the point.
You know what? You're going to leave my boo alone.
I love me some Oprah, but...
Oprah be outside.
I don't. She'd be like, girl, and remember she talking too much. Like, she didn't have to tell the Whitney Houston story, and she's running around here. She's doing all the things that she thinks
Cari,
she needs to do.
she's at that age. What? Okay, when you get that age and you start telling something, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm be like,
when I start doing what?
When you get that age and you just start talking, like just talking freely about whatever, telling these young women to put a prayer cloth over their knees and cover up.
Well, first of all, I already told you that she's not of this earth. And I want her to be put behind a glass shield and protected. I just don't want her to be out with us.
You don't want her to be circulating in the world.
Oprah, no. Like, it just, no.
I want Oprah out there.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Okay. But I understand. You want to make sure, as they say, even though a very, very small part of me, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, because obviously it was a big tragedy. Their families missed them. So I'm sure obviously their families would think otherwise. And I mean this sort of tongue in cheek, is that in a way, I was like, man, I'm glad I got to remember Tupac and Biggie the way I did, especially Tupac. I'm glad I got to remember Tupac the way that I did, as a revolutionary, as a truth teller, as somebody who, was just very passionate about what he did, because it would break my heart if Tupac was alive right now and he started talking some MAGA shit. I'd be like, oh my God, I don't think he would.
Yeah.
But you never know, especially how money might change somebody. And as he was at the height of his success.
Yeah.
When he was unfortunately murdered, and there was no reason to believe that wouldn't continue. So I get why you would say that. Like, you want Oprah to remain.
We want some
Oprah
people to be stuck in the time, right?
To be stuck in the time, right?
And I understand what she's doing and why she's doing it. But because she's been so far removed, and this is what the argument we've had about Jay-Z, they don't live in a real world. Does that make sense to you, what I'm saying? Like, if you have so much money, it's hard to, we even say, you say it all the time. You don't know certain music. You don't know certain things. You're like, what's what the kids talking about? It's just that we just lose touch with reality based on our circles. The older you get, the circles you find yourself in become smaller and smaller, and your experiences are rarely diversified. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but Oprah's running around here telling us stories that don't nobody want these stories. Go on. I'm sorry.
I want the stories.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, at any rate, where I was going with this was, when it comes to Black women in an outspoken space, more often than not, we pay a price. And our outspokenness is often not as valued or seen as edgy. Well, we might be saying edgy things, but we just don't.
Are we?
We might say edgy things, but it's not valued the same way. And we also are held to a different standard. No disrespect, but disrespect. Joe Rogan can get on there and act as dumb as he possibly wants to on his own podcast. Talk about all the shit he don't know. He could talk like he can, what he's able to get away with. And again, this is no hate. A Black woman couldn't do that.
What do you
just
mean?
Period, point blank. A Black woman could not have a show where they are often the feature of it, it's a bug, not a feature. The feature of it is I don't know shit. That could not be
Yeah, we don't get the luxury to be like, I don't know if that's right. Well, we have little room. It was like when I was on First Take.
He does interesting interviews. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he gets big interviews, Elon Musk. Like, he gets all the heavy hitters. I understand that.
And he's naturally curious. So it's not like he's not good at what he does, but we don't get the luxury to make mistakes the way that they get the luxury to make mistakes or pronounce names wrong for that matter.
We don't even get the luxury of having fun in the same way. You know, case in point, this just happened. I don't know if you saw this on social media. Our friend Monica McNutt was trending.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I thought that was ridiculous. I'm like, why is that even a thing?
Well, I don't even know why. It's like she did a Sports Center hit from a pedicure chair because clearly, hey guys, this happens sometimes, especially if you work for ESPN, where they're like, hey, this just happened. Can you go on now? Or sometimes you wind up doing television hits that you did not expect. Or maybe she just expected and the producers were like, you know, it'd be cool if you just went ahead and did a live shot right from the pedicure chair, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Man, the way that went in,
everybody was in on it. So why are they upset with it? Like, it wasn't like Monica? She popped on air and she said, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm just going to do it by myself.
Somebody had to put her on TV.
Yeah, someone had to say, it's okay.
Yes, it's fine.
I think you point out something. And I say this about you all the time. I go, there is... And I don't know if it's going to happen in our lifetime, because I really do believe the state of the world of where we are right now, with everything has to burn itself down before it can be rebuilt again. And I don't know how long that will take. Just the things that we laugh at, and we laugh so we don't cry. You know who do trauma well? Black folks do trauma well. You know who does trauma really well? Black women do it really well. Right?
We do.
Because we're so used to being marginalized and ignored and finding a way and making a way out of no way. And I think that we are at this crisis where, and I said this to you on the phone, it's hard to argue with people who live on a moral high ground, who really truly use the powers for good. And I'm not saying it's all of us, but like when you think about Michelle Obama, and she hit us with, when they go low, we go high. Like, she did all the right things. She said all the right things. She put herself in position to do all the right things. And she still is getting vilified for what? For what somebody says what she looks like? She never, her and Barack, even though we heard that Barack do be talking smack, and I'm glad I know he be talking smack now.
Good.
And I know he found
Talk
out
your
well,
shit,
good.
Barack.
Talk your shit, Barack. But like, you look at them and they always take the moral high ground and they always say the right things, and to no end still vilified. So in my mind, I'm like, well, what is the point? What is the point of not speaking the truth? What is the point of taking the high road if you still find a way to criticize? There is a point, but I'm saying that in jest. I'm like, what is the point of all of this if you're going to not acknowledge our excellence and work hard and put us on the podcasting list and give us the money that we deserve, that we should be getting paid like everyone else? What is the point?
Yeah, but it's again the double standard, And as I said, I brought up the Monica example because they vilified her and saying she's being unprofessional. Meanwhile, I could have sworn.
I already know what you're saying.
I could have sworn I saw Pat McAfee hitting a vape. We don't know what was in that vape.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't care. Like, vape, dog. If that's what you want to do that. We saw him do that during the middle of a broadcast. All right, and he openly talks about how much weed he smokes. Ain't nobody calling him unprofessional. They like, oh, he, ha, ha, ha. Oh, that's so funny. That funny, witty Pat McAfee, right? And
the WNBA is so toxic. These women are fighting. They're so toxic.
They're so jealous. That. Meanwhile, oh my God, why are these men so soft? Why are they all friends? Blah, 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 blah. Why don't they fight more? Yada, yada, yada. It's like, okay. Oh man, DJ Cari aired out her ex. Oh,
so
how unprofessional. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards, 25 baby mamas. Cool. Yeah, we're into it. Sorry, Anthony Edwards. Damn, he gonna think I hate him. I love him as a player.
I love him too. And he just got married. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you catch a stray there, but I guess that's what happened, right? You just, with Black women, it's always a different standard. They are always moving the goalposts. I said this about, when in the last episode when we talked about my clapback, you know what that was in response to? That was in response to the clapback where I said, hey, what you think I failed at was never possible for you. It was on a post that was about Jayden Daniels' mother. And once again, because Jane Daniels is at training camp, him and his mom are goofing around. His mom, who is his agent, went to get her NFL certification, make sure she could take care of her son's career. And he gave her a piggyback ride. They're clearly fooling around, right? Like, just nothing. It's nothing. Here they come, the brigade. This just weird. She need her own man. Blah, 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 blah. Same people, no doubt. When LeVar was out there out front about Lonzo, LiAngelo, all the L children. Oh, that's an involved father. That's what a great father looks like. Deion Sanders, same thing. He clearly has shepherded his kid's career. He has Shador with him at Jackson State. He has, as he should, by the way.
There was a lot of criticism for that too, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't from us. How many? All the black men were like, oh, y'all ain't never had an involved father. That's why y'all don't know what it looked like. Jane Daniels' mama. Now
What's
y'all
that
changing
voice?
the rules.
Do that voice again.
Now y'all don't know what involved father looks like. Blah, 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 blah. Jane Daniels, now y'all changing the rules. Now it's weird that his mom loves him. But meanwhile, again, had he been the athlete, I ain't gonna name, I'm just not naming any names, but had he been the athlete, because I don't want nobody to catch it straight, had he been the athlete out here raggedy with a bunch of children, with a bunch of baby mamas, you'd have blamed his damn mama. That's exactly who you would have blamed. But
well, you said something that triggered me the whole last podcast. You don't like women anyway. And by the way, right. Shout out to, I tell my Tupac story all the time. Shout out to Tupac Shakur for letting us know. Like, because he said it. Y'all go back and listen to Tupac. He was like, why do we hate our women? Why do we blame our women? Got our name.
Wait, what is it? Got our game from a woman. Got our name from a woman. And it's like, we cannot win. So with that being said, and it was funny because I had this same conversation with our friend Van Lathan. Shout out to Higher Learning. And I was asking him as a podcaster, why do you think there's no black women on this list? He was like, oh, it's real simple. He said, you all aren't given the luxury and the same freedoms as everybody else. You're judged more harshly. You're held to a different standard. So you can't exist in that fun lane that a Joe Rogan
unless you selling sex,
right? Or or unless you, but no, even in that you can't.
Even just a little bit though, just a little bit. Viewership goes up. I'm talking about tatas, just a little bit. If you are quiet and you play the game and you don't bother them, and they give you a little bit of room. They really do.
They give you a little, but it's a tiny box because
sure.
What is the other glare? Since you brought up sexuality, right? You got Cardi, you got Meg out here. They take obviously control of their sexuality.
I was referring to podcasters. I wasn't referring to
I know the rappers, but it sort of falls in the same line. Okay. We know they in control of they WAP, right? They talk about this all the time. Meanwhile, all you hear is the same brigade that'll sit up there and listen to about a dude talking about him selling 400 tons of cocaine. He'll listen to it on nonstop. Never say a word, but Meg and Cardi, oh my God, but what about the children? You sitting up there listening to somebody who talking about how they supplied the whole East Coast full of coke, but you got some... Total help me sing. Help me sing.
Are you making me mad? And I'm just trying to relax. So now, everything in my body is upset because it's just now. It's so obvious, and I don't know where... No.
So I say that to say, Cari, is that we ain't gonna get to call her daddy treatment properly. You know what I'm saying? It's like in terms of there being these, allowances for a certain and I want people to understand because they're gonna be like, y'all just jealous and this and that. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. What I do care about and what I will always draw attention to is the double standards and the hypocrisy of it all.
Yep.
It's like, we have to exist differently. And so therefore, it's going to be harder for us to make this list.
It is going to be hard. And then the only time that we can exist in this space is when we make them comfortable with what we're saying. Like if you say something that doesn't make them, and you decide who the them is, comfortable, right? The bosses, the corporates, if they're not comfortable with how we talk or what we are saying, then it's like, oh, I can't pay attention to that. It goes back to just my original point. It's the level of comfort of being socialized. Why do I know everything about white people, but they don't know nothing about me? Why do I know everything about their habits and predilections? Because I've had to adjust to a world where there are more of them. It's easy for them to not be in our world. It just is. It's easy for them to not pay attention to that side of the street and or that person that they work with. And when you do come across that person and you get curious, the curiosity falls into simple as, let me feel your hair. Well, how does that work? Or, you know what I mean? Or, okay, tell me, oh, that's fascinating. What is that? So I always find myself saying, God, it's just so difficult to be, first of all, I don't know how many people can bring 100% of themselves to work, no matter what your background is, but it is so difficult being a woman in this space and your job is to podcast and you have to talk about things. I was listening to Poor Minds and they were saying when they first came out, everything they talked about was sex and everybody kept calling them whores, but it was mainly from our community where they were being called whores. And it took them, here they are 10 years in the game, however many years, because they deep into the game, right? I'm rounding up.
Yeah, and they've been very successful.
And then they finally find a space where people are like, we can take them and make them mainstream. I even tell you this, when Kamala was going on this tour and she was going on all those podcasts, she did not go on one Black woman's podcast. And I was like, that really disappointed me. When you're running for office and you assume you got us on lock, which she did, she didn't show up on one Black woman's podcast. And she went to Du Bois. She tried to win over the flyover states, if you will. She talked to all the people and she was, you got your base right here. Don't forget your base. Don't ignore this base that can actually put you in different spaces too. And that is the problem. We often ignore our own selves. Like we talked about, you're like, oh, people talking about, oh, well, come here and listen to our pod. I didn't know you had one. You're like, okay, here we go.
Right. We're only 80 episodes in. That's it. Like that. And listen, I know sometimes just with our attention, there's a fight for our attention constantly. And so I very much understand that it's not easy to keep up on everything. As I said, I just read the list of some of the most, successful podcasters in the game. In the top 20, I think I knew half. I think I knew like a little more than half. And they're extremely successful. So we get it that sometimes it takes a minute for awareness to happen. But one thing, again, as I mentioned that conversation with Van, as he said, he's like, he said to some degree, podcasting, to be able to talk and be successful in this game, it requires a fearlessness, and he said almost a stupidity, because that's what it requires. And he said, and just Black women are just not afforded those things, not necessarily stupidity, but the lane to be fearless in a way that is edgy, that challenges people, because a lot of people ain't got the stomach for the smoke. They ain't got it. We gonna bring a different kind of smoke, which is why I'm glad you thanked Jesse for
because I was like
giving us this opportunity.
That. Yeah, because
I know we an acquired taste. I know it.
Yeah,
mostly you, but that's okay.
You know why? But Jessie kind of lets me be me, and she doesn't do this fear thing or judgment. And I know that she probably does, but it's quiet. But she knows at the bottom, at the end of the day, this is long before, like, she believes in the product. She believes in what we're talking about. She believes in a world where women are given a platform, no matter what your background is. Like, give them a platform, give women a platform. Hence, I heart women's sports. Like, and quite frankly, she probably is frustrated working for companies who are fearful in a time in which we cannot be fearful. I know it's a constant struggle. I don't know about for you, every single day. Like, what decision do I make?
Right.
Do I say this? Do I go there? What strays do I keep to myself? You know what I mean? What microaggressions do I listen to or do I ignore? Who do I make feel comfortable because a Black girl's talking? It's obnoxious and it's annoying. And it really does take away from the greatness and the creativity of what we are trying to put out in the world. It is what it is. I do want to say this. I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. I love doing it with you because you get me and you let me be me and you understand the brilliance of me. There's no judgment behind it. And if we all lived in a world where we had Jessies and Jemels, we'd be better off. You know what I mean? People are like, just do you. Like, your lack of insecurity makes you a good person to work with for anybody, because you're not insecure about much. And we all have our own insecurities. But when I say that, I mean, some people don't have the stomach to be around a personality that might be bigger than theirs or smaller than theirs in different times. Some people don't have the stomach to be around someone who is quicker than they are, funnier than they are. I'm not saying I'm any of these things. My point is
no,
that
you are, and in some respects, yeah, for sure.
And different things. Same for me. I'm not. You're a genius, Jemele. Go ahead, talk about it. Find the words, put them together.
Yes, I will.
I
first
love
of all, that was really Margaret Avery singing in The Color Color Purple. You said I could say things convincingly. That's my gift. It's like I could say it convincingly.
That was
whether
not
it's true or not.
But
Suge was really singing.
But the thing is I love you for it. That's why I was like,
you love me for the fact that I could convince you of something.
I was like, I don't want to do. Hey, friend.
Well, listen. What is the old adage? Getting to the point you were making. The old adage is, if you are the smartest person in your friend group, you need to find some new friends.
You need some new friends.
I enjoy being around smart, intelligent, witty, quick people who make me better. I might not they might be like far more advanced in areas than I am, but I don't consider that to be something that dims my light. I consider it to be something that I can learn from and maybe say, oh, I see how they did that. I'm going to try that or try my version of that.
Amen. I'm screaming amen. That's how I feel every day that we get on the pod. I'm just like, go ahead and talk about it. This girl's a genius.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell me more.
Talk your shit, Cari. You was saying.
Or titties out. Whatever it is that I do.
Whatever it is.
Put them out. Offering. Put them out.
Put them on the glass.
But I think that I wished that we lived in a world where people saw the beauty of the differences and encouraged the differences and didn't make that a reflection on what they didn't have. And as a result, if it's a reflection of what they don't have, they can't come together. They can't see the beauty in it. They can't want to, embrace it. Like, I love listening to, I think of like, there's so many podcasts that I listen to when I talk about poor minds, and I'm listening to these girls and I remember them saying how people didn't like their dialect, how they sound ghetto. People would tell them they sound ghetto and they'd be like, well, that's just how I talk. And I was like, I find it completely charming.
I love that.
And they have that fearlessness.
Yep, that's
in
required.
most respects, that is required. Mm-hmm. And that is what we have to continue to do. We have to continue to have that fearlessness because that is what is going to be required for us to continue to do what we do best. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, because that was basically our long-winded way of saying, listen to Flagrant and Funny, tell a friend. We want to make that list one day. Now, y'all ain't gonna get no money for it, but the whole point is... We're gonna give y'all some money. We're gonna give them some money. Cari, something. To quote Uncle Phil, who is we? We
to quote every black parent.
Right.
Who is we?
Who is we?
Our money. Who make the money? Money don't grow on trees around here. What you talking about?
We.
No. So we're gonna go away. We're gonna be on vacation. I'm going to Africa. A friend of mine is getting married.
We know the friend, Cari.
Oh yeah, my friend Bozema is getting married.
John, yes,
and then Bozema St. John's getting married. I'm in the wedding, and so I'll be in Ghana. But I will be thinking about you. Do you want me to bring you anything back?
Oof, girl, I wish you could bring me back
some shea butter.
I wish you could bring back some jollof rice because oof. It was a place when I went that I feel like Bozema may have suggested we go here.
Okay, how are you pronouncing it? Because they say it's jollof. And what are you?
Is it jollof? Okay, sorry. Please do not mess my. Y'all know the rice I'm talking about. Like if you could bring me back some of that, that would be amazing.
It's a 10-hour flight back, so I'll just pack it on ice. It'll hold. I just have her mom make you some. Her mom can make you some. Her mom will throw it
next
down.
time. Mama making some, I want to come over so I can.
That and red. I'll have her make you that. Okay.
What is red?
Girl, you ain't had red. Red is this like red bean lentils with a little bit of spinach and this special it's so good.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Anything with lentils, right?
Okay.
We didn't get to talk about Infantino, but that's okay. He's a cook.
Oh, we didn't.
He's about to get, that's fine. We can get to that. That story will play out after he resigns. After they force him to resign.
Everything Trump touches. Anyway.
Yeah, because he was trying to get some money.
He was.
You guys enjoy your hiatus. I don't know what you're going to be doing. Are you going to be getting those corns removed? No.
No, I'm going to be lurking in the cut.
Okay, all right.
All right.
You gonna come back with blonde hair, more blonde hair,
more blonde because they love to talk about me morphing into a white woman. I'm like, okay, all right, sure thing, guys. Whatever you say, start the rumor. I'm trying to be white.
Breaking news at 11: Jemele Hill is white.
Trying to be a white woman.